Anomalisa, directed by Doug Johnson and Charlie Kaufman, is easily one of the best stop-motion films I've ever seen. I'm going to do my best to break down my perspective on the movie and highlight all the little details I noticed. So you should definitely watch the movie before watching this video. The movie was produced using stop motion, meaning every single movement was meticulously storyboarded and sketched well before the actual animation process began.
Maybe we could figure out...
You've got to be kidding!
Oh, this isn't going well. I'll just get the check then, miss.
And then the directors will sit in the room with the editor, and then they'll go through the animatic, backwards and forwards, and speed things up, or, give it some more air. And this is the first time they're really seeing the movie. From the numbered animatic, an assistant will sit and go through and then break down each of the shots, and then listen to the audio, and then give us a track read. That's what we use on the floor.
Everything had to be recorded first with all the actors in the same room and then animated.
Be reasonable. There's nowhere to go.
You're hurting me.
I'm sorry I had to get you away. You weren't safe.
So I think that the best approach to think about this movie is in terms of why. Why would someone spend time animating this if it could have been taken out from the final cut of the movie?
Each animator had a goal of 2 seconds of animation, which is 48 individual frames of animation per day.
But first, have you ever noticed how a building is missing in a path that you usually take, but you can't remember the look of the building when it was there? Think about all the things you are used to doing but don't really pay attention to. Do you consciously blink or consciously take a breath every single time? Is it fair to say that once you stop paying attention, all of these habits dissolve into background noise? They become a monotone hum, present, predictable, and indistinguishable from the background, almost like a feeling of sameness, which is exactly how the movie begins, with a barrage of voices. As it is also related to one of the first conversations of the movie.
Hey, Mom, look, an airplane. What? Airplane. Oh, yeah.
Anyone who has ever seen an airplane would understand. Seeing one again and again isn't particularly special or interesting, apart from the first time. Perhaps a good way to think about it is in terms of habituation, a mechanism that allows us to adapt to situations until they are no longer consciously noticed. Which, in my opinion, is applicable to Michael's situation.
I don't want to lose you. I lose everyone.
Everyone who once seemed special eventually turns into everyone else through a sense of habituation. More importantly, this pattern of things becoming similar is something Michael has likely experienced his entire life. How many times have you blinked since I reminded you that you control every single blink? Now, why will this apply to people? We are all different to each other, right? Think about every single person you have ever met. Would you say that each one of them has something that sets them apart from everyone else? And if so, if everyone is different, then who is truly unique? Now, apply that to your own life. If every day is unique, doesn't that make every day the exact same? Wouldn't that be boring, or at least repetitive? While the movie has been analyzed through a mental illness perspective, I don't necessarily subscribe to the idea that the movie can be explained through the Fregoli syndrome. Mainly because, in my opinion, the intent is to describe a perspective that's relatable to everybody.
I think that it's a very universal experience, and it isn't about Michael. It's about Michael being human, and Michael's inability to connect is a very human thing, and it's a struggle that all of us have to see other people in their entirety. I don't even know if it's possible, but I think it's a struggle, and I think people are in denial if they say that it isn't.
For example, there's a visual parallel in the way Michael leaves Lisa at the end of the film and the way the airplane disappears from Michael's view in a single moment, as Lisa's unique identity vanishes from Michael's perspective just as suddenly. It is also worth noting that Bella's experience parallels Lisa's in terms of how she is treated by Michael.
You just walk away? After all you said to me? After all we did? After all those fucking promises?
Her letter is actually a word-for-word transcription of her later dialogue, a speech that effectively foreshadows Lisa's own experience, as she also ends up writing a letter to Michael.
I'm sorry to see you go, but I understand. Well, I don't understand,
that,
but
I accept it. I'm so glad we had this time together.
Also, the simple act of Michael taking the note out of his pocket might suggest that the entire trip is an attempt to escape the mundanity of his life. This might be the real reason for his trip, especially given that he lies to his wife about it later on.
You doing anything tonight?
No. I ordered room service. I'll watch a movie or something, I don't know.
Immediately upon arriving to the city, Michael drowns his surroundings with music, as he's clearly bothered by the noise on his way to the taxi.
The airport's fun because Michael is experiencing everyone as the same. And we punch up all of the sort of annoying sounds of being at that airport, and the backup beeps and the carts that go by, and hearing all the people complain about they can't make their flights and all that, but it's all Tom, right?
Which is probably why later on he asks for a quiet room.
I'd like a quiet room if you have one.
yes, sir.
The fact that he hears the same annoying voice everywhere just shows that his whole world has basically turned into one long repetitive loop. For example, the hallway with the exact same light, the word hot repeated many times in this magazine, or just the many buttons on the phone that all do the same thing. Which is also why he shows interest in what isn't ordinary, like a guy masturbating. The concept of being tired of sameness is also exemplified in the service staff. For example, the taxi driver, the receptionist.
I mean, I thought it was really important to me that, this is how Michael sees the room service waiter or the guy who answers the phone. Whereas, having worked a lot in customer service myself, I know that there's a lot of animosity on the other end of that conversation too. From the customer service, you have to mask it. It's professionally nice, but you hate the client or the customer. I mean, it's true in every industry, because they're the bane of your existence, but they're also your paycheck.
If everyone shares Michael's perspective, then from their point of view, Michael might have this exact same face. Seeing this way, it's easier to understand the tired demeanor of the taxi driver.
Hello,
Bye.
I need to go to the Fragoli downtown.
Yep.
They are forced to be polite over and over again in exchange for money. Or the receptionist, when he is pretending to look for a more quiet room for Michael. And just when he drowns the noise with his music, Michael seeks out increasing stimuli.
You'll have smoke in here.
First with cigarettes, then by whistling to drown out the noise. And finally with more cigarettes and alcohol. Here's a montage. Back in the cabin, the subject of nationality comes up, showing how the driver loves British expressions precisely because they feel different.
I like that. Across the pond, the States, the trolley, cheerio, put another shrimp on the barbie. I like all that English stuff.
Which is why the conversation in the taxi turns into the city of Cincinnati being part of the taxi driver's identity.
Well, Cincinnati's a great city too. Don't knock it.
I wasn't, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, damn straight.
While trying to give it an unique appeal as he takes the identity of the city in a personal way.
The zoo is great. World class, they say.
The driver also mentions how much the town has changed, even though Michael never told him when he was last there.
Once before.
Oh, it's changed since then.
Other details when he arrives in the hotel are, for example, when he is recognized by people in the background, but doesn't really care. Once in the room, the lobby attendant hands Michael his card, but Michael immediately tosses it aside, as it clearly holds no significance for him. Once Michael figures out the buttons for room service, he places his food order and hangs up before the operator can even finish saying thank you.
Thank you.
There's also other people who act like Michael. For example, when his son calls, he acts just like his dad, uninterested.
Did you buy me something?
Not yet, but I will. I just got here.
Okay. I love you. Take care. Bye.
And the couple fighting in the hallway also seem very tired with each other.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Finally, he calls Bella, the woman he used to date. It is a deeply ironic moment, as he originally left Bella for the same reasons he later almost leaves his wife for Lisa. Also, the conversation again gives us a hint about what's about to happen with Lisa later on.
Boring. Everything's boring. It's Michael. I didn't recognize your voice.
When he says, "I didn't recognize your voice," it may be because Bella at some point may have had a distinct voice like Lisa.
Good to hear your voice.
Yours too.
This doesn't make sense because he can hear everyone else's voice in her voice. And if you take notice, after saying it, he takes another sip, almost to imply that he knows he's lying to himself. Also, you can clearly see that he doesn't recognize her, probably because she looks like the rest of them, or possibly because his last memory with her was when she had a different face, like Lisa. During dinner, Michael reveals his belief that they had something special. At this point, the idealization begins, an attempt to break through the sameness in search of a difference.
Why did you go, Michael?
I don't know.
We were special together. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I agree. But things kind of shifted.
But just like completely suddenly.
Why did you go might as well be why did you change? The most important part being that he himself can't explain why his own perception shifted, just like what happens with Lisa at the end. If everyone is the same because they are all different, then constant change is just another way of saying that nothing ever really changes at all. This provides more context when Michael begins to ramble about change.
Did you change, like while we were together? Like, did I change you? Did you change? Did anything change? Did a change occur?
Fuck you, Michael. Fuck off.
Bella, I'm just trying to understand.
Once the day goes wrong, Michael buys a unique looking doll at the toy store.
It's quite unusual.
It's pretty.
If you look at the wound in its left eye, it is identical to Lisa's. And more importantly, the doll's eyes are exactly the same color as hers.
And then Michael actually has green eyes or hazelish eyes, and Lisa has brown eyes, but the rest of the world, all the world characters have blue eyes. So we had different sets for each character.
Here are some examples. Back in his room, Michael's face almost falls off, just like in his dream, which could mean he's starting to lose his identity.
Jesus. Someone else.
Upon her introduction, Lisa immediately becomes important because of her voice. In my opinion, her voice matters because it doesn't stand out, which sets her apart from everyone else. This contrasts with Emily, who looks like any other person and is liked by most people.
I feel like an anomaly. Before I used to know there was a word for it, it made me feel bad to be different. Now I kind of like it. Sometimes. I mean, not a lot, but sometimes. It makes me special, sort of.
Which is why I think Lisa orders the same beverage as Emily.
I'll have an apple mojito, please. Can you make those with apple schnapps? Yum, yum, yum. I think probably.
That sounds really, really good. I'll have the same.
Lisa's lack of self-confidence makes her appear either awkward or uniquely special.
Most people like Emily. I mean, I'm not smart like Emily, and I'm ugly. You're a really smart guy. You should like Emily.
Even her scar is something out of the ordinary. That's exactly why Michael is so drawn to both the scar in Lisa and the doll. Their uniqueness is what drives him to ask if he can kiss it.
May I kiss you there?
Once she sings, it lets us know on how Lisa really feels.
Such a great song. I want to be the one who walks in the sun. That describes so perfectly who I want to be.
To further highlight her insecurity, she doesn't attribute Michael's liking the songs to her voice, but rather to the songs themselves. And obviously Michael cries because it is unlike anything he has ever heard.
Tears?
It was beautiful.
It's such a great song.
Which is also why she explains that Brazil is an anomaly.
In Portuguese in Brazil. Little known fact. It's kind of weird because it's the only country in South America where they sing in Portuguese. It's an anomaly, right?
Once the dream sequence starts, Michael's perspective starts to manifest his fears as everyone starts confessing to him.
I love you.
Right, I'm leaving.
Which, in my opinion, it symbolizes the request from Michael's wife and Bella for Michael to love them back, considering that they all have the same face, which could explain the next scene.
We're all here for you. We're all one for you. Come back. Michael, do you realize that we love you? All of us here.
His face falling away could be seen as him losing his identity. In my opinion, it also represents the moment he realizes he's just like everyone else, and perhaps a fear of losing Lisa.
They explained it to me, the hotel manager. He explained it to me. They're all one person and they love me.
Your wife and son!
They don't exist. They're just them.
Furthermore, if you listen closely to the scene where he wakes up, the voice of the multitude changes into Lisa's voice, foreshadowing the ending where Lisa becomes one of them.
Michael!
This next part might be a stretch, but it was in the script. Take notice at the breakfast scene when Michael criticizes Lisa. The point of the scene is that Michael is losing Lisa because of Lisa's mannerisms, such as talking with her mouth full.
Glad.
Please don't talk with food hanging out of your mouth.
Yet he criticizes her for doing the same thing that he just did moments prior.
So, I'll call Donna and tell her.
This happens more than once, leading me to believe it's not random.
These eggs are delicious. They're scrambled perfectly. You want to try some?
No. That's what I'm thinking.
While he criticizes her for being controlling, he also tries to control her for talking with her mouth full, specifically asking her not to do it.
I think that's such an important...
Could you not? You're clicking your fork against your teeth. Could you not do that? You're being a little controlling, don't you think?
The things that happen to Michael with Lisa happen very quickly, much more quickly than they probably do in real life. It's like a fable.
Please don't look at me.
Well, I'm certainly very flattered.
You can look at me.
Emily.
To place your faith in somebody, I think you have to do. But I think that with that has to come the acknowledgement that this is another being with its own sort of purpose and desires, you know. And if you make them the object of something, especially if it's in the form of a projection, and then they eventually will reveal themselves to be a separate thing. And unless you're able to sort of move through time, allowing that constantly to be the form of the relationship between you and that other person, then you're going to start resenting them and be angry at them because they're not this thing that you need them to be to save you.
Maybe he won't see her as Lisa anymore because she reminds him of himself. To the rest of the world, he's just like everyone else, which is exactly how he sees other people. Or perhaps it's a matter of perspective. Considering that Michael now has what he has always been looking for, it no longer means anything to him.
Like a floodgate is open, I can't close it. I don't want to. I love you.
Oh gosh, okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Now that Lisa admits to loving him, it reminds him of other faceless people who also love him.
Michael, do you realize that we love you?
And once she starts to act like the others, he suddenly feels like she is like the rest of them, which is exactly what he was fearing.
Maybe go out for a walk and talk or something.
Yes,
So I'll see you after?
of course.
At this point, Michael delivers a generic speech that can be viewed ironically, as his own experience is the complete opposite of his words.
Always remember the customer is an individual. Just like you.
And eventually almost a complete breakdown.
And I have no one to talk to, I have no one to talk to, I have no one to talk to.
He reinforces his belief in isolation with the claim, "I have no one to talk to," which ironically contradicts his own instruction to look for what it is special in each individual.
Remember, there is someone out there for everyone, someone to love. Remember, every person you speak to.
Clearly, Michael doesn't believe in what he is saying, and I think it's because the logic "there's somebody for everybody" implies a specific soulmate. But if you argue that anybody can be that person, you create a paradox. If everyone is compatible with everyone, then there is no specific someone left to find. And obviously it's ironic to look for what's special for everybody when you see every person the exact same. Once Michael gets home, you can see Henry wearing a firefighter costume, despite him saying on the call that he was a pirate.
Hi, Daddy. I'm a pirate.
Almost like he changed his mind from one moment to another.
What are they?
It's everybody, honey. What's it doing now, Daddy?
I don't recognize any of them.
Michael might be failing to recognize them because they all look identical. Or he may see them as they usually look, but simply cannot remember them after so much time has passed since he last saw them. Maybe it's just a shortcut to say everyone knows him. Finally, Michael breaks down.
Who are you, Donna? Who are you, really?
I don't know who I am. I mean, who are you? Who is anyone? Who can answer that question?
He can't answer the question because he is just like everyone else.
The process you've been sculpting and you get...
This one's Michael Stone, this is Lisa, and this is the world head.
I don't want you to leave.
Donna, I'm not.
Is Daddy leaving?
Of course not, Slugger. Where would I go?
In his head, it means "I'm devoted to you," but to her, it just sounds like he's being forced into it. And finally, he is left alone with the doll, while it sings in a rather distinct voice, which was performed by the same actress as Lisa. I've heard theories that the doll is Lisa, and it was all an illusion. I don't necessarily agree with that interpretation, but I think that the doll and Lisa are so similar that it explains why Michael is drawn to both. My interpretation is that Michael doesn't necessarily choose to see the world this way, but it is something he feels, which is where the metaphor of Fregoli's syndrome comes in. It's hard to tell how much is literally a physical affliction or if he just feels like everyone is the same person.
I want to cry, but I can't. It's like the Zoloft, Dr. Horowitz. It's like the Zoloft.
However, there's an important difference by the end of the movie, and that is Lisa.
I'm sorry to see you go, but I understand. Well, I don't understand,
But I accept it. I'm so glad we had this time together.
While both women send letters to Michael, Lisa is clearly the more understanding of the two. Looked at this way, she becomes a much more sympathetic character than Bella. By sharing Michael's worldview, she is the only one who recognizes people as truly unique individuals, perhaps even Michael himself. Or perhaps the ending is another way of seeing what the movie has shown us so far. Maybe the one thing that we all have in common, the thing that makes us all the same, is the fact that we are all unique. And I think this is why the movie stands out among others. There's so much depth in every instance of the filmmaking, and it all serves a concept that is universally experienced and seen. Also, you can hear the voices of the beginning at the end.
You give voice to all the other characters in this film.
Yeah. That's not funny.
Can you go through them one by one?
I was going to if you give me a chance.